Now, we need to have a serious talk. There are still people in Australia buying hybrid vehicles in 2026, and this just no longer makes sense. I find myself having discussions with friends and neighbours about hybrid vehicles, and they always seem to go a bit like this.
Hey, g'day, Steve. Hey, yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
Yeah, so I'm buying an electric vehicle. Oh, you're buying an EV? Great. What sort are you getting? Getting a hybrid. A hybrid? Do you mean a plug-in hybrid? No, better than that, mate. It's self-charging. You drive around and the battery charges up when you drive around. Mate, a hybrid is not an electric vehicle. It's really just a petrol car charging up a battery. So what is it? Why don't you want to buy a battery electric vehicle? Oh, I'm not sure about these battery electric vehicles, mate. They seem to just be a bit of a novelty. There aren't that many of them on the roads in Australia, are there? Mate, there's nearly 60 million battery electric vehicles globally on the roads today. They're not exactly a novelty. They've been around for nearly 15 years. You don't see them in Australia so much because we started late. We've had a coal-fired government for many years that were just holding us back when it came to renewables and electric vehicles. Yeah, but I don't reckon the charging infrastructure is there yet. When I'm driving around, I see petrol stations everywhere, but I hardly ever see an electric vehicle charger. Mate, charging infrastructure is just everywhere. You don't see it like you do with petrol stations because there aren't big neon signs every 500 metres advertising the prices. But we use apps on our phones to find where the next charger is, and there are apps like PlugShare that show you where all the chargers are in your region. And cars like the Tesla will actually navigate you to the nearest charger. You don't need a big neon sign to point out where the charger is. Yeah, but what happens if I ran out of battery? Mate, seriously, when was the last time you ever ran out of petrol? Oh, probably when I was about 17, had an old Holden. She used to run on fumes, that thing. Never had any money. Look, you've got to work really hard to run out of battery in an EV. It gives you lots of warnings and lots of chances. Just use your EV like you do your mobile phone. Use it during the day, charge it at night. Do that every day. Yeah, but what's this I hear about having to replace the battery and they cost like $20,000? Mate, that whole thing about having to replace the battery in your electric car is just a myth. Most of the batteries these days are warranted for 10 years and they'll actually outlast the car itself. Oh yeah, but what about the fire risk? You see these lithium-ion batteries in scooters going up all the time. I don't want my bloody electric car to go up in flames. Mate, seriously, if you're worried about a battery electric vehicle catching fire, why would you buy a hybrid that has a battery in it, plus a petrol engine and a big petrol tank? If you look at the real insurance data, actually hybrids are the most likely vehicles to catch fire of all, followed by petrol and diesel engines, and battery electric vehicles are the least likely to catch fire. That's real data. Mate, where on earth are you getting your information from? Oh, only the most reliable sources. Places like Fox News, The Australian, Peter Credlin, Andrew Bolt, they seem to know what they're talking about. If you want to get some decent information, get online. Have a look at some reviews of motor vehicles and electric cars. Have a look at YouTube. Have a look at Steve's Tesla and remember to subscribe. Good information there about renewable energy and electric vehicles. What's actually happening globally is that we're reaching peak hybrid. Every country in the world that's ahead of Australia in rolling out electric vehicles has gone through that same phase of preferring hybrids for a while because the battery range wasn't very good or the charging infrastructure wasn't there. But those are yesterday's problems, and hybrids are trying to solve yesterday's problems. You really don't want a hybrid vehicle in Australia today because in 2026 we're going to hit peak hybrid in Australia, and then what's going to happen to the resale value of a hybrid vehicle or an ICE vehicle for that matter? As battery electric vehicles take off, hybrids and ICE vehicles are going to become worthless. By 2030, you don't want to be owning one of those vehicles. Australia is just way behind the rest of the world. Even countries like New Zealand are ahead of us, but the UK, China, you've heard of Norway, way ahead of us when it comes to rolling out renewable energy and electric vehicles. But look, you must be worried about the road user charges. So what's this road user charges? What's all that about? What's that? Well, the government's going to be losing $5 billion a year as the sale of petrol declines, and it's declining rapidly. So they're looking at introducing a per kilometre charge for battery electric vehicles. Now that's okay, it's going to cost us $200 or $300 a year, we think. But if they implement it without removing the excise tax on fuel, then hybrid vehicles are going to be paying twice, because you'll be buying fuel for your petrol engine, you'll be paying the excise tax, plus you'll be paying a per kilometre user charge because hybrids will be classified as electric vehicles. Now, it may not turn out that way, but there is a chance. Do you want to be taking that chance by buying a hybrid today? Plus, battery electric vehicles are so cheap to run. I do 25,000 kilometres a year. In my old petrol car, that would cost about $3,000 a year for fuel, plus about $1,000 a year for servicing. This Tesla Model Y had its first service at 45,000 kilometres, 2 years, and that cost $244, which included replacement wiper blades. So the running costs are negligible. Plus, I can charge this during the day using my solar, and at night for 8 cents per kilowatt hour after midnight using the AGL EV Night Saver plan. So these things cost nothing to run. Well, yeah, maybe I should be thinking about getting an electric vehicle then. Hey, can we go for a test drive in your Tesla? You bet, mate. Come on, hop in the Tesla. Let's go for a test drive. G'day, and welcome to Steve's Tesla. This is my channel dedicated to electric vehicles and renewable energy. Subscribe now, and let's drive.